Hey guys, we're going to talk about something exciting today, and I finally got a red dot on my pistol. So this is something I've been wanting to do for a while, especially because I shoot at night, and for those of you who do have night vision, you know how hard it is to shoot under night vision without a red dot. It's possible, but it's not easy for multiple reasons, which we'll get into later. But I finally went ahead and decided to get a red dot for my pistol. So first off, I wanted to talk about some reasons that I kind of put off getting a red dot and the concerns I had for getting a red dot. So as you know, this pistol previously was just a standard Glock 17. I had my magwell, I had my light, and I had Dawson precision sights on it. So I did a few competitions, and I've shot a bunch with just regular iron sights. I will be the first to admit that I'm not very good at pistols. So one thing I told myself is I want to get at least proficient with iron sights before I step into a red dot platform. Because I'm not saying that red dots will solve all your problems and you'll be able to hit 10 out of 10 on every target, but red dots makes it's exceptionally easier. So what I wanted to do is obviously build some fundamentals, make sure to where I can pick up any pistol and at least get shots on target, at least like a IPSC or just a man-sized silhouette. So I reached the point where I felt like I was confident enough to step into a red dot. So I knew that I wanted to get a red dot. There were a few considerations when I was looking for a red dot, and there are a few options that weren't around on the market, a few years ago. So you have companies like, obviously, Trijicon, like here. You have companies like Aimpoint with their Acro. You have HoloSun, Vortex, Leupold. You have a lot of companies making really good products that have all had their fair share of testing and evaluation, stuff like that. But as you all know that watch my channel, I like things that have been used by the military. You can say that, could be cosplaying or LARPing or whatever, but I find it reassuring when things are being used by military forces, because if it's holding up to their standards, it's probably good enough for mine. Because I'm not abusing it like a soldier would. I don't know. So that's kind of why I went with the Trijicon. Now, in particular, you'll notice with this, cool little color, not only is it a cool color, but this is actually the HRS. The HRS handgun reflex sight, I believe. But this is the actual red dot sight that's being adopted by the military. And I believe it's being on the new 6-hour pistols, but it could be, it could be on all of them. But this is the military's version of the Trijicon reflex, or the Trijicon RMR. For those of you who know about red dot sights, obviously it's apparent how it's attached to the slide. But this is also one of my original concerns when I was looking for a red dot sight, is because that this is a stock Glock 17. This is Gen 4. So, that's before that they had the MOS, or optics ready systems, or optics ready slides. So I had to get this cut. So that was another one of my concerns. Obviously, I'm like, I am making a permanent change to this optic, or to this slide, and I wanted to make sure I liked what I was getting into. So when I knew I was getting ready to get an RMR, I looked at places to get milling work done. And this is another thing, that there is so many companies out there doing quality work, quality craftsmanship, and just, they can do a lot of things. Regardless, there is a lot of places that do good milling work. And one thing that I did when I was looking at companies to choose from is I just got on their Instagram, started looking at pictures, starting reading comments, deciding, are people having problems with these optics cuts, and that is how I found Battleworks. And so if you go on Battleworks website, which I'll also link in the description, you can see that they do a lot of different things. They offer milling packages, they offer optics cuts for different pistols, different optics. But I decided to go with Battleworks just because they have decent price and decent reviews, but I can't say enough great things about them. They were fantastic. All I did was obviously just strip the slide. So this is basically all you will send to Battleworks. And mind you, I had my Dawson Precision sights on, so I basically just sent them my Glock 17 slide, just in the mail after I bought the optics package, and then told them to mill it for the RMR and include a sealing plate. Now, the sealing plate, this goes back to the type 1, type 2, so the HRS is actually a type 2, which means it has improved battery contacts. So a lot of the first type, they had some flickering problems with battery contacts. One thing that the sealing plate does is apply pressure to the battery to make better contact. It also makes it waterproof, but I went ahead and got the sealing plate for the RMR from Battleworks, and I didn't have any problems when I was mounting my slide. So after I sent Battleworks my slide, it took them about 3 days, honestly, which was insane, because I know a lot of companies, they do great work, and I'm not bad-mouthing any of them, but sometimes the wait time is excessive. Who wants to wait 4 or 5 months just to have their pistol back? But, so 3 days, I got it back, and then I was able to mount my Trijicon RMR. So right at the top here, you see the 2 little screws right here. Those are what actually secures the RMR to the pistol. So when they mill it out a little pocket to which it sits in. You can also notice that the top right here is radiused, it's not straight, but that allows the RMR to sit there and to withstand recoil, so it doesn't shift back and forth. But there's little posts in the slide itself that these screws go into, and so that's what actually holds the RMR to the slide. One of the massive benefits of the RMR over its competitors is its durability. This thing has been proven. You can go watch Sage Dynamics torture test where they actually use a RMR as a hammer. So I mean, this thing is incredibly rugged. One nice thing is when you're manipulating the gun, I'll show you a video of this, is you can rack it using the optic. So, like I said, when you grab the pistol, if you ever have a malfunction, it's really nice to be able to just grab the optic and just move it like that. Otherwise you would have to grab it over the slide, which kind of gets a little cumbersome, but having the ability to use the optic itself to rack it and not have to worry about if the optic's going to break from that is super nice. So that is another benefit for the Trijicon RMR. So you can see there's kind of like a recessed area between the outer body and the lens, and that allows you to be able to use the outer body to rack the slide. So you can kind of see where the glass is in the housing. Right here, you can kind of see it on the camera. That is where actually the emitter is. That's what's going to project the dot on the lens. Now, this is another thing that I was considering the aimpoint acro over, is the fact that the aimpoint acro is completely enclosed. But I'm not going to get into pros and cons. Obviously, I don't have the aimpoint acro, but I was just imagining, having a very large red dot on my optic or red dot on my slide. I don't know. I chose the RMR, but that's not to say in the future I won't choose the acro in another one. Windage and elevation adjustments are on the optic itself. I actually didn't have to adjust it, which is kind of cool, but yeah. This top is just a QR code. This is specific to the HRS. I haven't actually looked up the QR code, but I assume that it just says the serial number, manufacturer information, things like that. So what are my thoughts on the HRS? Well, I love it. I mean, it's made it so much easier to make fast target acquisition. I can just put the dot on target and know for a fact that I'm going to hit it, no matter where or how I'm holding the gun, which is kind of the reason why I wanted to get better and more proficient iron sights before I got the RMR. which is because I didn't want to become lazy or dependent on it. But with that being said, it's amazing. It does exactly what it's supposed to. It's very rugged, very durable. I didn't talk about battery life, but I think battery life should be, very good compared to what I'm used to with things like EOTech and stuff like that. But you will have to take off the actual optic for battery swap, which is kind of a pain, which is kind of a pro for the aim-point acro, things like that. But I'm not too worried about it because the battery should last, a year or so. Unfortunately, I don't have a night vision recorder, so I can't record what it's like under night vision. But I will say that if you have the chance to shoot a handgun without a red dot under night vision and then shoot a handgun with a red dot, you'll know why. It's just best to have a red dot. So obviously for shooting at night, a red dot is a must, and I just think that the HRS or RMR in general is just the way to go. Would I advocate the HRS over any regular Type 2 RMR? No. I mean, they're the same thing. It's just, I like the color, I like the finish on this one, and I like to stick to things that have military, acquisition, stuff like that. I don't know. It's just my thing. But as far as the Trijicon Type 2 RMO6, this thing is good to go, and everyone should have one on pistols. So thank you for watching my video, and if you liked it, make sure to like and comment what things that you maybe would do different, maybe some things that you would set up different, or maybe some things that you agree with. So one thing that I'm going to be doing in the near future is I'm going to be changing up the video style a little bit, just because I'm going on a actual trip and I want to document it with you guys and show what I'm bringing to the trip, what I am going to do with the trip, and I think it'll be cool. So anyways, the style of my videos will be a little bit different here in the near future. So I hope you guys like them. If not, I'm sorry, but yeah. So be staying tuned. I'm going to be putting out a few new videos this week and next week. So thank you to all of my supporters. I can't believe that my channel has grown this far, and I can't wait to see how far it goes. So thank you all, and I'll see you next time.